Hello guys, my name is AMR. I suffer from schizophrenia, autism, and hyperactivity disorder. I suffered from excessive stress and panic attacks when I was young, and this almost led to my addiction to pornography and masturbation during the period of panic attacks. I practiced it about 7 to 8 times a day to relieve the pain that I was suffering from. Unfortunately, I have been addicted to it for about 5 years, and I am now 20 years old, and my life is destroyed in every sense of the word. I can't stop it, and I also suffer from overthinking and daydreaming. I can waste 8 to 14 hours of my day daydreaming. Unfortunately, this has affected me greatly. Please provide me with a solution, guys. My life is at stake now. Now, unfortunately, I am failing academically without any social skills, addicted to porn. I can't imagine myself being with a girl. One day I tried to start several projects, but I failed. Hey Reddit, I really need some help or advice. I don't know where else to turn. Lately, the things happening in my apartment have been so bizarre and terrifying that I feel like I'm losing my mind. And no one around me seems to understand or believe me. First off, my apartment is full of these weirdly tiny holes everywhere. I don't know how they got there or what they're for, but they're just everywhere. On top of that, I constantly hear strange electronic sounds that I can't trace. It's like some kind of high-pitched buzzing or humming that never stops, and it's driving me insane. But that's not even the worst part. My skin feels like it's being hit with some kind of electromagnetic waves, like prickling and burning sensations that I can't escape. Even more strangely, if I put aluminum foil on a powered-off air purifier, it actually melts. How is that even possible? It makes no sense, and I have no idea how to explain it. There's also something I can't even see that seems to be floating around, almost like an invisible thread. It moves on its own, and I've tried to cut it with scissors and even a knife, but nothing works. It even scratches me sometimes, and I have tiny cuts that I can't explain. The air around my windows and doors looks like it's rippling, almost like a heat wave or something, and the whole apartment feels like it's subtly shaking. It doesn't stop there. I swear, my bed and mattress feel like they're shifting or moving by themselves. I hear the sound of my own phone coming from the vent, like my conversations or music are somehow being played back from the walls. There's this weird, steady vibrating noise too that I can't ignore. The worst part of all of this? I feel like someone is constantly watching me. It's like I'm never alone, even when I'm supposed to be in my own private space. I can't relax, I can't sleep, and I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel so helpless, and no one around me takes this seriously. Has anyone ever experienced anything like this? Or am I just losing it? Please, if anyone has any advice or similar experiences, let me know. I'm at my wit's end here. Got off work around 1 a.m. Came home and watched a movie which ended around 3:30. Laid in bed and was falling asleep. I guess it would have been around 4 a.m. Felt a thud on my blanket, like a hand had gently smacked the blanket. I felt it close to my feet. Didn't pay any attention to it. Then I hear a thud on my floor and a slight grunt. I live alone. I've also noticed a slight cologne smell coming through the door sometimes. I don't know if it's just my scent/soap or what, but it catches me off guard and is definitely noticeable. I'm not a believer in paranormal, but this shit kinda got me fucked up right now. I have a lot to say about Mormonism. I was born into it, raised this way, and didn't realize something was incredibly off until my priesthood leaders were telling us during priesthood to go get the COVID vaccine. This while I was pulling up videos of children and youth being run over by officers on horseback for not wearing masks while in a public park. I literally saw a girl get trampled by a Belgian police officer on a horse. It probably came close to killing her. Anyway, What the hell are these stone temples actually for? That are built on the best real estate in just about every city across the country? I think they are feeding centers for reptilians. Which is why the buildings are as secure as any government or military base you'll find anywhere. The walls are made of thick, soundproof concrete. And you go through multiple walls complete with a waiting area to enter any temple. There's no way you would ever hear what was going on inside if you were standing outside the temple. So the globe model is taught by a video for the painfully stupid people who pay money to this 501c3 organization to enter their Freemasonic structure. While wearing their stupid Freemason symbol underwear, they are trying to hide the symbols lately you can barely see the compass and the square now on the underwear using some new imprinting technology instead of sewing the symbols in. Baptism for the dead has to be one of the most retarded religious concepts I've come across. Apparently God, who in their temple is a white, bearded guy wearing a white robe. Yes, sorry folks, God is a white dude with a beard by the way, God shaves? What shaving tools does he use? So ostensibly this ritual is performed for dead people who don't have bodies. And there's some inane rule in heaven that if you have no physical body you cannot be baptized, which is an administrative procedure in order to dwell in heaven. So someone on earth has to be baptized as a proxy for you. And even though you don't directly interact with them, it all has to stay hidden. You see, they are performing a profound service for you so you can progress without your body. Still, because after you get a perfected body in heaven, evidently there's another rule where you cannot be baptized. Maybe the glory emanating from your body doesn't react well with water? A simpler explanation for these metal basins in the temple: they are for catching blood and other body parts the reptilians are eating while in the temple. From children or adults that are being tortured and consumed. That would make quite a mess. When I was 8, I was in the backyard laying with my family. My grandfather is buried near the small village my Ohio family lives in, by the way, siblings, and were called over to the back porch, where the adults were. I had hesitated before moving to my mom, cause I saw someone I didn't know standing by the tree in the backyard. But I whispered to my mom, "Mommy, someone's watching." My mom looked into the backyard but saw nothing, so I described the person. A tall, skinny man was over there. He had plaid pajamas on. It was dismissed at the time, but we went inside to be safe. It was then my family friends told us that the man I described had been dead for a while now, before I even existed. My grandfather was buried in plaid pajamas, and my family believes he came to check on his grandbabies. It felt weird. Why would he show to me, not someone who knew him? It kind of feels nice to have gotten to see him. Hi guys. I am fascinated by paranormal stuff since I was a kid, but never experienced a real one. I don't want it though. But I always read other PPL experiences online or listened from my friends and family. In my country, all of encounters are related to jinns. My people doesn't believe ghosts exist, and all demons are jinns according to our culture. So all of the stories in my country are about jinns. But here, I read lots of stories about lots of entities like shadow PPL, ghosts, shapeshifters, demons. I can understand what is a ghost or what is a demon, but shadow people? What they are? Are they demons or something different? I really want to learn more. I am a strong believer in these stuffs. BTW, my BF experienced something with a shadow figure once. It was a horrible encounter, but luckily he didn't see it once again. When he told that, all of the people said it was a jinn, but after reading all of our experiences here, I think it was a shadow person. This was the first year for me to celebrate Dia de los Muertos by creating an ofrenda for some of our grandparents. This was mostly to teach my toddler about her relatives who are no longer with us. It seems like ever since then some strange things have been happening. A few days ago I was sitting in my bedroom rocking my 3-month-old while my toddler laid on my bed on the iPad. Our room is near the laundry room which connects to our garage door. You walk through our laundry room to enter the garage. Anyway, I was sitting scrolling my phone while rocking my baby when I heard our garage door open. My dogs then ran into my bedroom as if my husband was home from work. I yelled out, "Babe, is that you?" No response. I sat quietly and waited several seconds, then realized that I should probably get up and check, fully expecting someone to be standing in my laundry room. I walk over there and there was nothing. I looked around and nobody was there. I even opened the door to look into the garage to check and again, nobody there. I just shook it off, maybe I was hearing things. Then earlier today I was deep cleaning my bathroom while juggling parenting my toddler and 3-month-old. My toddler was getting into all my makeup, so I decided to just take them to the living room, close the door and try to finish later when hubby got home from work. So I closed the door, not checking to see if our 2 dogs followed me because I was really preoccupied with my 2 kids. I sit on the couch about to feed my 3-month-old when I hear scratching on my bedroom door, my dog. If you're a mom like me, at this point you're just like, that has to wait, I have to feed my baby first. Being a mom is overwhelming. So I tell myself, okay, after you're done feeding the baby, go let the dog out of the room, which be about 10 minutes later. Mind you, my toddler is looking at books in the floor by my feet. About 10 minutes later I walk to the nursery to lay my baby down because he fell asleep when both dogs follow me. It dawned on me that one of the dogs was just in our room unable to get out. My toddler doesn't know how to open doors yet. How did my dog get out? I walk to my room to check the door and it's still shut. A few other odd things have happened too, but not as interesting as these 2 incidents. So I had to go up to my reservation to help my mom arrange a funeral service. I was at the community center around 10 p.m. prepping food and unloading my supplies from my car. Now when I lock my car it gives me a honk. Out of habit I lock it 2 times so I hear 2 honks. I heard 2 honks echo back at me. I just wrote it off as an echo and so I kept doing it 2 times just to fuck around because I thought it was kind of funny. My boyfriend got weirded out so he told me stop doing that, to which I replied, why, it's just an echo. Then he paused and was like, do it one more time, so I do my little beep beep and then I hear only 1 honk back. I got freaked out so bad. Mind you, nobody was around us who could have been using their own car to honk at us. My boyfriend is a non-believer of skinwalkers/Wendigos, but that night he was scared shitless that something was out there. I will admit, the reservation we were on had such a spooky vibe to it at night. I don't know if that was something paranormal or not, but I believe it was. Anyone know what it could be? Or does anyone have similar stories? The other night, I was taking a bath. My brothers and I were home alone and they were both in the living room, nearly opposite side of the house. I was sitting, playing on my phone and listening to music. And I hear my brother R come running. He knocks loud on the door and when I answer, he asks if I'm okay. He sounded worried and a bit panicked, which is unlike him. I tell him I'm fine. Apparently, R and B were sitting on the couch and heard me scream. Like full, loud, in pain or in danger scream. And R was freaked out because why would I be screaming? The thing is, I didn't make a sound. This isn't the first time one of us has heard another family member when they didn't speak, but it's usually calling names. I've heard my mom calling my name or nickname multiple times when she didn't. But we've never heard each other scream without cause. So thought I'd share. Yes, my house/family is haunted. I can also share 2 stories of my family seeing me when I'm not there. For context, my boyfriend and I fall asleep every night on FaceTime with the camera on with the phones facing us. This morning he told me everything he saw. He said that he randomly woke up for no reason and looked over at his phone cause he saw movements in the corner of his vision. He repeated the words babe a few times, thinking I was awake and couldn't sleep. What he saw was a shadow figure brushing their hair with their hands while also looking dead at my phone. He didn't see a face since it didn't have eyes. He also told me that the figure was playing with my hair as well. At one point, he woke me up by saying babe again. This time I woke up and responded with what? Grumpy because I was awoken. Only then did the figure fade away. P.S. Lately I've been feeling things, my room felt hotter or colder more than usual. I've been feeling more nauseated. And I've been more dizzy. This has been happening for days. My boyfriend also told me that he's been seeing other things at night as well around me. Like shadowy people or people-like figures. What is happening? Forgive me if this isn't the proper subreddit, I'm just unsure of where else to go. Additionally, forgive me for the length of this post. I tend to ramble a bit. I consider myself to be a skeptic when it comes to the paranormal. For most things I believe there is a logical explanation, and I don't put a lot of stock in eyewitnesses. People are notoriously unreliable witnesses. An event occurred the other night that shifted my perspective. It truly shook me to my core. As a background, my girlfriend, with whom I live with, has been reporting unusual occurrences as of late. She has reported our bedroom door and closet doors being opened by themselves. She has also claimed things have been, seemingly, pushed off shelves and off the desk in our room. I normally write these off as explainable events. Perhaps she was tired and didn't realize she had knocked something over, or that a gust of wind under the doorways our doors are light and cheaply made have closed them. My girlfriend is also someone who enjoys watching paranormal investigative shows and believes in such things. My thinking is that her beliefs make her attribute some explainable events to the unexplainable. The other night we were laying in bed about to go to sleep. We both heard something fall in our closet. She, my girlfriend, was pretty spooked, but I thought it was probably something silly. Perhaps a shirt, or jacket, that was not well hung slid off a hanger. Perhaps one of the boxes that we have precariously stacked on the shelves had slid. I didn't think much of it. A short time later I was reading a book on my phone. She had fallen asleep at that point. My point of view was straight ahead, toward the closet, as I was reading. Suddenly a large white sphere had manifested itself and flashed a piercing light for a brief second before it faded away. It was about 6 or 7 feet away from me. The sphere was about the size of a basketball. It only flashed for a moment, but the light was intense. At that moment every hair on my body stood at attention and I felt my body quiver. I have never experienced anything like it. I've been trying to rationalize it. My understanding is that seeing orbs, or flashes, can hint towards neurological problems. Typically that may happen in one's peripheral vision, but this was straight ahead of me. At times we have lights shine through our bedroom window. There are cars passing by. Other times there are airplanes coming in close for a landing at the nearby airport. This flash, however, was in total darkness and only lasted for a brief second or two, and given its position in the room I can't attribute that to light passing through our shades. It was also a perfect sphere that became intensely brighter and flashed before fading away. Are there any spiritual, or paranormal, explanations for such things? I'm honestly shaken and I don't know what to make of it. It's possible I'm just losing it, but I can't help but try to seek other explanations. TLDR, my girlfriend has been reporting doors opening by themselves in our home, things being knocked off shelves, and I witnessed a large orb, sphere, dead ahead of me that flashed an intensely bright light for a second or two. So I'm hoping for some advice, or maybe some fresh eyes on a situation we've been dealing with for a while now. For context, my mum and I live in a small town in Australia that's notorious for being haunted with the locals. I don't think there's a single person here that doesn't have a story about the white lady on the main street. The house we live in is old, but not as old as some of the places here, and for the last 7 years the only strange occurrences that have happened in my house is a ghost cat that hangs around the kitchen and sometimes my bed. Since about July though, things have really ramped up and feel somewhat targeted. The first time was when I was up late and cleaning the kitchen for an inspection. I've got a long kitchen that's connected to the lounge room. I had music playing on the TV and was sitting at the far end of the kitchen cleaning the oven. I heard my mum in the lounge room singing to the song that was playing. It's one of her favorite songs, so it wouldn't be that weird for her to come out to listen to it. I heard her say my name from the door, but I had my head in the oven so I didn't see her. I just called back asking what she wanted. She didn't answer, so I sat back and looked at the door and called out again. I got no answer. So I got up to search for her. My mum's mentally ill and I'm her carer, so her calling me and wandering off isn't exactly unusual. I found mum sleeping soundly in her bed. The next day she said she had slept through the night, hadn't woken up at all. Since then, our milk keeps leaking and we can't find holes or splits in the carton. Candles that are lit sometimes burn way too quickly. Our pets have been agitated. That same song keeps playing randomly. Even if something else is on, multiple apps, multiple devices, and while I was away over the weekend, mum heard me come through the front door and call her a full day before I was home. So, I work at a restaurant and our restaurant has a downstairs and an upstairs. On days that aren't busy, we don't use upstairs, but on our busy days we use the upstairs, which is a bar and seating area, as well as the downstairs. Anyway, when upstairs isn't being used, it's completely dark and no one is up there. Last week, I went to go use the upstairs bathroom, and when I was washing my hands I heard someone whistling while walking towards the bathroom door. I thought this was weird because you would hear someone come out of the elevator, because when you step out of it, it makes this loud beeping noise. I most definitely didn't hear the elevator. The elevator is the only way upstairs and no one takes the stairs, ever. The elevator is also right around the corner from the bathroom. Anyway, the whistling was getting closer and closer, so I was expecting someone to come into the bathroom, but when I opened the door, no one was there. I looked through the whole upstairs and absolutely no one was up there with me. I know I heard whistling and footsteps because the floors are squeaky, and that's exactly what I was hearing. It kind of freaked me out, so I just ran back downstairs. I immediately told my manager because I was so freaked out, and she told it's a normal occurrence. She told me that they named the ghost Sarah, and that Sarah likes fucking with people. She likes pulling people's hair, touching them, turning sinks on, etc. My manager also told me her experiences as well. We fuck with Sarah though, she's chill. TLDR, I heard whistling and footsteps coming towards the bathroom. When I opened the door no one was there. I searched the whole upstairs, no one there. I told my manager and she said it's a normal occurrence and that her and my co-workers named the ghost Sarah.
To the town of our we rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't.
Are you a targeted individual? Have you had a paranormal encounter, or are the victim of an unregulated government experiment and would like to share your story with us? Would you like to send us some fan mail or a hate-filled rant? Do you have an idea for a future episode or wish to send a complaint to HR? Email us at atomicshamanSweatlodge@protonmail.com.
Mosey on down to the Atomic Shaman Trading Post. We have t-shirts, decals, refrigerator magnets and other swag for sale. What better way to show your support for the show? Our merch can only be found on t.pub/link/Atomic Shaman Trading Post.
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.